On their ultimate royal wedding night, the stunning goddess suddenly dropped a bomb. We are couples in name only. I can't touch you! But to compensate, she sent her top-tier 18-year-old maid into his bed. Our main character activated his secret X-ray vision and was completely shocked by her perfect body. The crying maid was forced to serve him, but what this despised son-in-law did next shocked everyone. Don't blink, because the craziest wedding night begins right now!
Yan Sheng looked at the line of text written by Shen Lang and successfully read exactly 4 characters as required. Overjoyed and proud, he loudly proclaimed, "I am an idiot!" Suddenly, he realized something was wrong. Everyone around him fell silent and stared at Yan Sheng. Burst after burst of laughter echoed throughout the ceremonial hall. No one could hold back their laughter while Yan Sheng stood awkwardly in the middle, not knowing what to do or where to hide. Seeing Shen Lang's trick, even Qin Mulan could not suppress her laughter and burst out laughing happily. While everyone was enjoying the spectacle, Zhang Boyan furiously scolded his student. "Why are you still standing there? You've completely disgraced yourself." As for Yan Sheng, he was so embarrassed he wished he could disappear into a hole. After the commotion settled, Zhang Boyan looked toward Shen Lang and gently asked, "Student Shen, it seems you are quite knowledgeable about rare ancient characters." Shen Lang replied humbly, "I wouldn't dare claim expertise. I merely know a little." Zhang Boyan continued, "I have a certain character here. My students are not talented enough to recognize it. I wonder whether student Shen would be willing to resolve our confusion." Hearing this, Shen Lang became suspicious. In Wuzhou City, not only does the current city lord oppose Count Wuzhou, but even the former city lord does so. Originally, the position of city lord of Wuzhou City had always been held concurrently by Count Wuzhou's younger brother, but because the king sought to limit the power of long-established noble families, 11 years ago, the Wuzhou Count Manor relinquished the position, allowing the throne to appoint its own officials instead. From then on, every city lord appointed to Wuzhou City carried a mission to draw clear boundaries from Count Wuzhou and secretly oppose him. The renowned scholar Zhang Boyan was no exception and had always stood on the opposing side of the Wuzhou Count Manor. Shen Lang then replied calmly, "Since Lord Zhang wishes to test me, then I shall give it a try." Zhang Boyan nodded. "Very well." Holding a brush in his hand, Zhang Boyan elegantly wrote stroke after stroke. Seeing his calligraphy, the surrounding crowd continuously praised him. "What beautiful handwriting!" Someone asked, "But what character is this?" Another replied, "No idea." Others added, "Lord Nang enjoys researching ancient scripts. This must be an inscription from antiquity, something extremely rare." Kim Ju, Kim Mulan, and Shen Lang were all visibly surprised upon seeing the character written by Zhang Boyan, but Shen Lang's eyes suddenly lit up strangely. "This? I know this character." In Shen Lang's vision, the exact character written on the paper appeared clearly. But considering the current era, it might not necessarily be pronounced the same way. While Shen Lang was still thinking, Yan Sheng yet again seized the opportunity to point his fan at him mockingly. "Ha ha, Shen Lang, you don't know it, do you?" Unlike Yan Sheng's impatience, Shen Lang remained composed as he spoke to Zhang Boyan. "Lord Zhang, if I'm not mistaken, even you probably don't know how this character is pronounced, correct? Perhaps you only inferred its meaning through the surrounding context of the ancient inscription, but its pronunciation remains unknown to you." Zhang Boyan answered without hesitation. "That is correct, but understanding its meaning is more important than knowing how to pronounce it, is it not?" Holding the sheet of paper containing Zhang Boyan's writing, Shen Lang thought to himself, "If that's the case, then ha-ha, I can pronounce it however I want." Thinking this, Shen Lang confidently declared, "What a coincidence! I just so happen to know how this character is pronounced." Yet again, Yan Sheng pointed accusingly at Shen Lang. "Impossible! Even my teacher said that this character can only be interpreted through contextual analysis of the inscription. There's no way anyone could know its pronunciation." Shen Lang flicked the paper lightly with his finger and challenged him. "If I know both the pronunciation and the meaning of this character, how will you slap yourself this time?" Naturally, Yan Sheng accepted the wager. "And what if you're wrong?" Shen Lang answered casually, "Then I'll slap myself." Hearing this, Yan Sheng raised his hand high to attract everyone's attention. "Good, it's a deal. Everyone present here will bear witness." Shen Lang pointed at the character and said, "This character is pronounced the same as the character for endure, Ren." Yan Shang immediately retorted, convinced Shen Lang was fabricating nonsense. "You say it's pronounced Ren, so it's Ren? Who can prove it?" Shen Lang calmly continued, "And its meaning is similar to the word fondness." The moment those words were said, Zhang Boyan suddenly trembled inwardly. Impossible. How could he know such a rare character? Meanwhile, outside, Yan Shang eagerly turned toward Zhang Boyan while the latter frowned deeply. "Teacher, he's making it up, isn't he?" Zhang Boyan shut his clothes tightly, thinking about how to respond. "I could deny Shen Lang's answer, but this inscription has already been studied by others before. If Shen Lang exposes the truth publicly, my reputation would be ruined. I can only tell the truth. Yan Shang, if you must blame someone, blame yourself for provoking him." Having made his decision, Zhang Boyan relaxed his brows and revealed a bright smile while clapping his hands in admiration. As expected of young Master Shen, truly knowledgeable in ancient scripts, to recognize such a rare seal character and even know its pronunciation, truly a promising young talent. For the second time, Yan Shang staggered backward in shock. The surrounding crowd erupted in noisy discussion. He really got it right? Was he that talented? Wasn't he supposed to be a useless fool? Some people still refused to believe. "It's fake, all fake." The astonishment was not limited to the wedding guests alone. Even Kim Mulan herself was shocked by Shen Lang's knowledge. Shen Lang then looked toward Yan Shang again. "Brother Yan, surely you won't go back on your word." Hearing this, Yan Shang desperately looked around for help. Everyone's attention, however, was focused entirely on his teacher Zhang Boyan. Zhang Boyan merely turned his face away, clearly indicating that Yan Shang had lost and needed to accept reality. Yan Shang gritted his teeth in anger, sweat still pouring down his face as he glared hatefully at Shen Lang. "Shen Lang, well done. I'll remember today." He raised his hand and slapped himself across the face. The sound was so loud that it echoed throughout the entire ceremonial hall, audible even from the front gates. Seeing Yan Shang slap himself, Shen Lang smiled faintly, his victorious expression obvious. After humiliating himself, Yan Shang stormed out of the hall angrily, throwing behind him one final sentence: "I take my leave." Kim Ju finally let out a sigh of relief, as though a heavy burden had been lifted from his heart, and smiled proudly at his talented new son-in-law. "Shen Lang, you should bring Mulan to greet your parents now." Shen Lang respectfully cupped his hands. "Yes, father-in-law." After the matter concluded, a servant of the Kim family loudly announced, "The banquet begins." But just as the words were spoken, Zhu Lin, who was seated among the honored guests, suddenly interrupted. "Wait." Everyone immediately turned toward Zhu Lin to see what he intended to say. Like everyone else, Shen Lang shifted his attention toward Zhu Lin, though Shen Lang's gaze carried clear caution, as if trying to determine what scheme Zhu Lin was planning. Zhu Lin sat there with the imposing aura of a warrior preparing for battle. Slowly, he raised his hand. Pointing toward Shen Lang, his face revealed delighted excitement, as though he had finally encountered a long-awaited rival. "Boy, you're quite interesting. I'll remember you as well." Shen Lang politely cupped his hands and slightly bowed toward Zhu Lin. "Thank you for your favor, Lord Zhu Lin." Hearing this, Zhu Lin burst into a hearty laughter. Shen Lang and Kim Mulan then turned and walked toward the place where Shen Lang's parents were waiting. Meanwhile, Kim Ju and the wedding guests remained in the main hall. Shen Lang's parents had not appeared during the ceremony because they considered their status too lowly. No matter what, they refused to enter the grand hall, afraid to bring shame to their son. At that moment, the two of them sat nervously in the rear hall. Though every corner of the Count Manor was luxurious, they still felt less comfortable than in their humble straw cottage, and they also refused to wear the silk garments prepared by the manor, fearing they might accidentally damage them. Thus, they still wore their old, tattered clothes from head to toe. Shen Lang approached them with his younger brother, Shen Jin. The moment he arrived, he knelt deeply to the ground. "Your son greets you, father and mother. Your son has been unfilial." Beside him, Kim Mulan slowly stepped forward and also knelt down. "Your daughter-in-law greets father and mother." Seeing Kim Mulan kneel respectfully before his parents, Shen Lang secretly thought, "She's kneeling before low-status common persons, yet there is not the slightest hint of dissatisfaction on her face." Shen Lang's mother hurried forward, took Kim Mulan by the hand, and helped her stand. "No, no, you mustn't." Kim Mulan replied gently.
"Thank you, mother." Seeing this scene, Shen Lang thought inwardly again. As expected of my goddess, her inner beauty matches her outer beauty perfectly. While Shen Lang was lost in thought, Kim Mulan spoke to his parents. Come, let us offer wine to father and mother. Father's health is not good, so shall we substitute sweet wine instead? Shen Lang's father happily nodded. Yes, yes. Noticing that Shen Lang seemed to have things he wished to say to his parents, Kim Mulan tactfully excused herself. You probably have matters to discuss with your parents. I'll go entertain the guests first. Shen Lang nodded. All right. After Kim Mulan left, the Shen family became emotional beyond words. Once dinner ended, Shen Lang's parents did not dare impose further and quietly took a carriage home. As for Shen Lang, under the urging of his younger brother, he was pushed toward the bridal chamber. Big brother, what are you waiting for? Go to the bridal chamber already. A spring night is worth 1,000 pieces of gold. The bridal chamber was magnificently decorated and immaculate, dominated by red colors illuminated by warm golden candlelight, making the room appear even more luxurious. Inside, Shen Lang sat waiting on the bed. The door slowly opened, and Kim Mulan entered gracefully. Before Shen Lang stood Kim Mulan's elegant and alluring hourglass figure. Her long legs were accentuated by the high slit of her fitted silver gown. Her delicate bare shoulders and delicate collarbone highlighted her noble beauty. She appeared shy and bashish, her cheeks slightly flushed, while her eyes looked straight ahead. Her hair was elegantly tied up, adorned with a luxurious golden crown that further emphasized her refined features. Every step she took radiated nobility and sensual charm. Shen Lang could not help but marvel in admiration at Kim Mulan's beauty and let out a quiet gasp of admiration. Meanwhile, Kim Mulan shyly lowered her gaze, too embarrassed to look at him directly. That expression only caused Shen Lang to sink even deeper into admiration for her beauty. Kim Mulan slowly sat down beside Shen Lang on the bed. Those seated next to each other neither dared look at the other directly. Instead, both stared awkwardly around the room. Shen Lang thought to himself, "She's so beautiful. Am I dreaming? I can't believe I actually married her." Sitting on the bed, Shen Lang and Kim Mulan remained shy and awkward, neither knowing what to say first. Kim Mulan's cheeks were slightly flushed as she finally took the initiative to speak. "Your behavior today was nothing like the rumors describe." Shen Lang was equally embarrassed as he replied, "When I was staying with the Shu family, I suffered a serious illness. You could say I returned from death's door, and somehow my mind suddenly became enlightened afterward." Kim Mulan continued softly, "Shen Lang, there are a few things I need to make clear to you first." Shen Lang nodded. "Go ahead." Kim Mulan slowly confessed, "In this lifetime, I never intended to marry. I wanted to devote everything to my family. It was only because the Zhu family forced me into marriage that I agreed to choose a husband. We are husband and wife in name only, and that will never change. I also will not marry anyone else. But regarding the duties between husband and wife, please forgive me. I cannot fulfill them. I'm very sorry." Hearing her words, Shen Lang thought to himself, "That makes sense. A proud girl like Mulan would never casually share a bridal chamber with a man. If I truly want to be with her, I first need to win her heart." Shen Lang replied calmly, "I can understand." Kim Mulan stood up and said, "You've been wronged, husband, but tonight is your wedding night. I cannot leave you all alone in an empty room." A question mark practically appeared above Shen Lang's head as he failed to understand her meaning. Kim Mulan looked toward the door. "Xiaobing, come in." Hearing this, Shen Lang also turned toward the door. Immediately, Shen Lang's eyes lit up with a faint blue glow. X-ray scan mode activated. True enough, men were all the same. Shen Lang's gaze instantly stopped at the chest of the young woman entering the room. The X-ray results displayed clearly in his vision. 36F. The entire voluptuous and alluring figure entered Shen Lang's eyes, causing his heart to waver uncontrollably. Her name was Xiaobing, 18 years old, Kim Mulan's personal maidservant. Immediately, a crooked, lecherous grin spread across Shen Lang's face. As expected of goddess Kim Mulan, she's so generous and thoughtful. Kim Mulan walked over to Xiaobing and instructed her, "Xiaobing, tonight is the groom's wedding night. You must serve him well." Blushing deeply, Xiaobing answered softly, "Yes." Shen Lang awkwardly said, "This doesn't seem appropriate." Standing behind him, Kim Mulan reassuringly spoke, "I cannot be too selfish and ruin your future husband. Tonight you should consummate the marriage with Xiaobing and quickly have a child. It will also make it easier to explain things to your parents." At that point, Shen Lang stopped pretending to refuse. If my wife is this considerate, then I can only accept graciously. Shen Lang's face immediately brightened with excitement. Spreading his arms wide, he eagerly declared, "Xiaobing, a spring night is worth 1,000 pieces of gold. Don't waste any time. Come, help me undress." Hearing this sudden change in attitude, both Kim Mulan and Xiaobing were visibly stunned. Kim Mulan quietly left the room, leaving Shen Lang alone with Xiaobing. Xiaobing trembled nervously, her cheeks flushed red as she stammered, "Young master, let Xiaobing attend to you tonight." Ooh. Tears began to stream down her face as she continued, "Let Xiaobing attend to you tonight." Ooh. Seeing Xiaobing trembling and crying, Shen Lang finally asked, "You don't want this, do you, Xiaobing?" Xiaobing could not answer. Her body continued to shake while tears rolled down her cheeks. And thanks to that ridiculous author, of all places the tears could fall, they landed precisely on the area covering Xiaobing's large round breasts. Shen Lang sighed gloomily inwardly. Kim Mulan looks down on me, and even this Xiaobing looks down on me. Forget it. Forced fruit is never sweet. Even if I remain single for another 10 years, I still won't force someone against their will. Deciding to act honorably for once, Shen Lang waved his hand. "All right then, go sleep in the room next door." Hearing this, Xiaobing's trembling finally stopped. Her face showed complete disbelief that Shen Lang was actually letting her go. As though she had been waiting for those exact words, Xiaobing immediately ran out of the room. "Not even the slightest hesitation? Come on, I'm pretty handsome too," Shen Lang complained inwardly. After removing his ceremonial robe, Shen Lang lay alone on the bed, feeling somewhat bitter. Forget it. I only became a live-in son-in-law at the Count Manor to protect myself and my family. Now that that goal has been achieved, I shouldn't be too greedy. Oh well, time to sleep. The next morning, Shen Lang and Kim Mulan sat together eating breakfast. Kim Mulan spoke first. "Husband, ordinarily I should accompany you today to visit your parents, but I still have military duties and cannot leave. Later, please help me bring these gifts back to them." Shen Lang nodded. "All right." Kim Mulan continued. "Husband, from now on, if you have any thoughts or goals, you can tell me." With his mouth stuffed full of food, Shen Lang turned to her and replied, "I don't really have any goals." Kim Mulan looked puzzled. How can someone not have any goals? Shen Lang answered casually, "Well, if you put it like that, then I do have one very big goal." Kim Mulan showed curiosity on her face. "And what is your goal?" Shen Lang, still chewing food, answered indifferently, "To destroy the Shu family and make Su Tiantian kneel before me in repentance." Hearing such a calm answer, Kim Mulan was completely speechless. Where is a man's grand ambition? Where is a man's magnanimity? Husband, is it really all right for you to hold grudges this deeply? Trying to redirect the conversation, Kim Mulan pushed a plate of pastries toward him. "Here, husband, eat some more sweets instead. The Shu family and the Zong family are now joined by marriage, and behind them stands the Zhu family. Even our Count Manor cannot easily act against them." Holding a pastry in his hand, Shen Lang replied with a somewhat chilly smile, "Then I'll kill Tian Heng first. How about that?" Kim Mulan answered helplessly, "I'm afraid that won't work either." Shen Lang froze in complete disbelief. "Why not?" Kim Mulan patiently explained, "Tian Heng is a militia commander of Swanwu City and falls under the authority of the Swanwu City Lord. Furthermore, he relies heavily on the Zong family. If our Count Manor touches him, it would mean openly turning against the City Lord Manor and violating the new rules, since nobles are forbidden to interfere in local administration." Hearing this, Shen Lang looked completely stunned. Isn't the Count Manor supposed to be incredibly powerful? Why can't it do this? Why can't it do that? Kim Mulan smiled helplessly. "Well, then I truly must apologize to you." Shen Lang raised a finger as if suddenly struck with inspiration. "Forget that then. I'll simply use my status as the Count Manor's son-in-law to slap Tian Heng in the face. Don't tell me I can't do even that." Kim Mulan replied with some hesitance, "That shouldn't be a problem." Before she could finish, Shen Lang abruptly jumped to his feet. Confused, Kim Mulan asked, "Husband, what are you doing?" Shen Lang sprinted toward the door while shouting back, I'm full already. Wife, take your time eating. I'll be leaving first. Left behind alone, Kim Mulan could only think silently to herself. Husband, are you really that eager to rush off and take revenge? Not even willing to spend a few more moments talking with your newlywed wife?